Oh my God, two people.
Where are the keys?
Oh my God.
Imagine returning from holiday to find a stranger hidden in your vehicle, then being slapped with a £1,500 fine for something you didn't know about. That's exactly what happened to an Essex family who unknowingly transported a migrant in their motorhome's bike rack.
What the f*** are you doing, you broken this, you get out of my sight. Have you nicked? Have you nicked anything? Have you stopped?
Meanwhile, the smugglers, making £6,000 per migrant, face no consequences. This shocking double standard under Starmer's government has left ordinary Britons wondering, why are we being punished while the real criminals walk free? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine coming home from a relaxing holiday in France, only to discover you've unwittingly brought back more than just souvenirs and memories. That's exactly what happened to an Essex family who found a 16-year-old Sudanese migrant hiding in their motorhome's bicycle rack. But what happened next reveals the truly twisted nature of Starmer's border policies. You might think authorities would be sympathetic to these law-abiding citizens who immediately reported finding a stowaway. Think again. Instead of thanking them for their cooperation, Border Force slapped them with a punitive £3,000 fine. Their crime? Failing to thoroughly check their vehicle for hidden migrants.
My heart's racing. This is like...
Did you video all
Yes, I've recorded it all. Yeah, I'm going to put it on.
As if average holidaymakers should now function as unpaid Border Patrol agents. The absurdity doesn't end there. If this family wants to challenge this unjust penalty, they face a deliberately complicated appeals process designed to wear down even the most determined citizens. And here's the kicker. If they lose their appeal, they're not just liable for the original fine, but also for the costs incurred by Border Force during the appeals process. It's a system seemingly engineered to discourage people from fighting back. The human toll of this enforcement regime extends beyond financial penalties. The family's 7-year-old son has developed a persistent fear that the migrants might come find them, a psychological burden no child should have to bear. When innocent families feel terrorised not just by their unfortunate experience, but by their own government's response, something is fundamentally broken. What makes this situation truly outrageous is the stark contrast in how these different parties are treated. The family faces crippling financial penalties and bureaucratic nightmares for an innocent mistake, while the actual migrant simply enters the processing system with minimal consequences. And what about the smugglers who profit handsomely from this human trafficking? They continue their operations largely unimpeded. This isn't an isolated incident. Reports indicate numerous UK citizens have faced similar fines for unknowingly transporting migrants across borders. The message is clear. Starmer's government believes average citizens should bear the burden of border enforcement, transforming every cross-channel trip into a potential financial catastrophe. As one member of the affected family put it, they feel bullied by the system. A sentiment surely shared by others caught in this regulatory trap. The question we must ask is painfully obvious. Who actually benefits from a system that punishes innocent families while allowing the real perpetrators to escape serious consequences? The system that bullies innocent families while failing to prosecute smugglers is just a symptom of a much larger betrayal. Remember those fierce campaign speeches where Starmer promised to regain control of our borders? With over 36,000 migrants crossing the Channel in 2024 alone, a staggering 25% increase from the previous year, the gap between Starmer's words and actions has become a chasm that threatens to swallow what little remains of public trust. During his campaign, Starmer positioned himself as the solution to Britain's border crisis. He made passionate pledges about taking stronger action against illegal immigration and harshly criticised his predecessors for their failures. Fast forward to today, and we're witnessing not just a continuation, but an acceleration of the very problem he promised to solve. The numbers don't lie. more than 4,000 illegal migrants crossed the Channel in early 2025 alone, continuing a trend of record-breaking arrivals under Starmer's watch. While ordinary citizens face £3,000 fines for unknowingly transporting migrants, organised smuggling networks operate with near impunity, charging between £3,000 and £6,000 per person. These criminal enterprises are raking in millions while facing minimal consequences from a government that seems remarkably uninterested in pursuing them. Perhaps the most bizarre aspect of this situation is the role of border force and Coast Guard vessels, which are actively assisting migrants crossing illegally. The very agencies tasked with protecting our borders are facilitating their breach. Yet these government personnel face none of the harsh penalties imposed on everyday citizens for the same actions. One rule for them, another for us. Public frustration is reaching a boiling point as many perceive a system that's effectively decriminalising illegal entry while simultaneously criminalising innocent citizens. The message seems clear. If you're an ordinary Briton who unknowingly becomes involved in these situations, prepare to face the full force of the law. If you're deliberately crossing illegally or profiting from human trafficking, the system will treat you with kid gloves. What we're witnessing is a textbook case of political bait and switch. Starmer campaigned as a border hawk, but governs as if national boundaries are merely optional suggestions. The evidence is overwhelming. His border control promises have completely failed, with numbers increasing rather than decreasing under his leadership. The 25% surge in Channel crossing stands as a damning indictment of a government that talks tough, but delivers nothing. The double standard in Starmer's approach to border control couldn't be more glaring. While ordinary families returning from holidays face punitive measures for circumstances beyond their control, the government's supposed crackdown on people smugglers has yielded little tangible impact. As a Home Office spokesperson claims they're fully committed to stopping people from illegally entering the country, the reality on the ground tells a different story. Public trust continues to erode as citizens witness a system that appears designed to penalise innocent families rather than target actual criminals. This isn't merely an immigration issue, it's a fundamental question of governance and priorities. Experts have pointed out that effective border control requires a comprehensive approach, addressing the root causes of illegal crossings, not just punishing unwitting citizens caught in the crossfire. The government's failure to implement such an approach speaks volumes about its actual commitment to border security. When will Starmer's government shift its focus from bullying law-abiding citizens to implementing meaningful solutions that tackle smuggling networks at their source? Until then, the gap between political promises and enforcement reality will continue to undermine public confidence in a system that seems increasingly broken by design.